Hello guys, welcome to Amazon CV. I hope you are okay. Guys, fellow South Africans, please come closer. I want you to listen to this. So what you are seeing here is Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe trying to sell second-hand clothes and other stuff on the streets, trying to make a living. Many of them are those who are returning from South Africa. And their municipality is saying, no, you cannot come all the way from South Africa to do what you've been doing in South Africa, to come and do it here, to litter our streets, to dirty our streets with all this rubbish. They say, you think this is a banana country, you think this is South Africa, you must go back to South Africa and do all this nonsense there. We cannot allow you to do this rubbish here in Zimbabwe. You think this is South Africa where you can do as you wish? Never, not here in Zimbabwe.
Now I understand why South Africans are saying every person in his or her own country. I was in First Street last week, Harare, and this is what I saw. People are selling in the streets, corridors, everywhere. These streets are now overcrowded. You know, First Street used to be a street which no Zimbabwean was allowed to access by the whites. It was that First Street was lacquer. But now people are even roasting meat, cooking sada, pap, food, everything. You can see fire. And you know the fun part about that is that there is no way where one can put those ashes after the fire is out, or when they want to set a new fire. So they'll just push the ash a bit away from where they want to start the fire again today. So the town is dead, my guy. Our town is now getting dirtier than before. Then I realized that this is the reason why South Africans are saying, no, guys, if it's a business, let it be a registered business.
Fellow South Africans, we are vindicated. Patriots. Now Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe are saying abahambe. They understand now why we are saying abahambe. Their towns, their cities were very clean. Even those Zimbabweans who are returning from South Africa, before they left Zimbabwe, coming to South Africa, they were taking care of their towns, their cities in Zimbabwe. But because they've stayed in South Africa for years, where they can do as they wish, where there is no law, in our towns, in our cities, they do as they wish, they litter everywhere. Now they're taking that culture back to Zimbabwe. And Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe are shocked. It's their first time to see something like this. They came to South Africa to do as they wish, to litter, to destroy our towns because it's not their towns. Now this thing is in their blood. They cannot change the behavior, even if they are there in Zimbabwe now. They think Zimbabwe is South Africa. They are even forgetting that Zimbabwe is their country now, because when they started destroying South Africa, it was because it's not their country. But now they don't even know. It's difficult for them to understand that no, now we are in our country. They are taking Zimbabwe as a foreign country now. They told themselves, and it sank down into their veins, that they are not from Zimbabwe. So now they are in Zimbabwe. They, even their minds, they don't believe that they belong to Zimbabwe. They are destroying Zimbabwe now because they think they are foreigners in Zimbabwe, because they've told themselves for many years that they are not from Zimbabwe. They no longer feel at home in Zimbabwe. They feel like strangers there because they ran away from home many years ago, thinking they belong to other countries. This is what we've been telling them. Ukuthi home is home. Look at what is happening to them now. They are living like aliens in their own country. They have forgotten everything. They have forgotten even their own culture. So if they are feeling like this in Zimbabwe, where they were born, what will happen to their children who were born in South Africa, who have never been in Zimbabwe, or who have never lived in Zimbabwe before? You see what we've been telling them? Home is home. Go back home. Go and teach your children your culture in your own country. They refused. Look at what is happening right now. They are like foreigners in their own country. Even their own people in Zimbabwe are treating them like foreigners. They don't know them anymore. Even the things they do are strange to them. The cultures they came back with are strange to them. You see? Wagubishem. Hey, kunzima.
No registered business can mess a town like this. So all these businesses we are seeing are just informal businesses. And they are our town is becoming like a ghost town, where you can see litters everywhere. But this is our pride, my guy. People are selling everything like our Harare is a growth point. You can see all those tall buildings, but this is Harare. You see that. You see what this guy is doing.
I'm not laughing. These guys, they finished me.
You see that. You see what this guy is doing.
I thought South Africans were lying when they said some Zimbabweans are thieves. They are stealing and hijacking our cars. Since xenophobia started, when people started being chased out of South Africa, we have experienced a lot of car hijackings and property being stolen. On a broad daylight, at night, anytime you can just hear the news that somebody and someone has been robbed and somebody's car has been hijacked and some people lost their phones. They were told to lie down, and crime is increasing in Zimbabwe, which is a testimony to what South Africans have been saying. Yeah, they were saying these guys are stealing, these guys are hijacking cars, hijacking buildings, and we are feeling that heat now. So if you are one of those people who left South Africa just to come here and commit crime, the long arm will catch up with you. Soon you will be in Chikorobi.
Are you guys trying to be xenophobic to your own people? I thought you said we are xenophobic when we said all these things. We said these people are stealing cars. These people are doing housebreaking in our country. You've not seen anything yet, my brother, because they've not started unaliving people there in Zimbabwe. They've not started taking your job. They will become a cheap labor in your own country in Zimbabwe. They will take your jobs in Zimbabwe. If you are earning 2,000 there, they will come and take 1,000. Be very careful of those people. We know them very well. Wait until they destroy your buildings. But fortunately, you have a government, you have laws in Zimbabwe. They will not be able to destroy everything. When it comes to law in Zimbabwe.
Kuthiwa lento kade beyenza eHebrew yokujwamula amafoni sebeyenza koBulawayo. Kuthiwa sonkunzi encane esibanjwa koBulawayo. Bajwamula ofaba yisijwamjwam koBulawayo amafoni. Kuthiwa bajwamula abafana badlali. Awukapheli ngitsho neviki nje abantu sebekhala ngokubanjwa inkunzi. Bufama kuyaphela inyanga mpela uyabe khona osele nefoni.
Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe are very worried that all criminals who came back from South Africa are terrorizing them in Zimbabwe. stealing their phones. And this lady is even worried that it's not even up to 1 month these people returned. They are stealing phones, they are stealing everything. And she's worried that they will all end up without phones. There is no peace anymore. The crime is increasing in Zimbabwe since criminals returned from South Africa. They don't even know what to do anymore. They don't want these people there anymore. What they're saying is that abaham, so they want them to go back to South Africa. They don't want them there anymore. So what they're saying is that they cannot be able to live with people like this. Angeke bakwazi ukuhlala nezilwane. Abasena peace ezweni labo. Abahamba babuyele South Africa. South Africa, are you okay with that? Must they come back? These people are not needed in their own countries, but our government is okay with them. Our own leaders are okay with them. They say because they are Africans, it's okay for them to stay here. What does that tell you as a South African? Ikutshela ukuthini leyo nto about your own leaders. I hope you guys who are fighting for them, you are listening.
On the issue that is happening in South Africa particularly. I know the world has not really gotten the true story of the realities, of the lived realities of what is happening. But I will, in my own version of understanding, I will put this forward. And I know a lot of my brothers from all other African countries will relate because it is our lived experience here. The first thing is, there are things we as Africans have done to South Africa that we need to apologize. We need to say we are sorry for what we have done. We are sorry for not listening to you. We are sorry because we saw that your laws of your country, the justice system, was open, gave so much freedom that we did not experience in other parts of our countries. So we took it for granted. And in that process, we disrespected you guys. But we are sorry. We need to be honest as Africans. There are things we have done also that have made the South Africans angry, because there is no level of anger that can reach this level, that our enemy is going to use it to continue to fire division among us. I've said I believe in peace, love, harmony, but at the same time, it cannot happen without us being honest, without us coming to trust each other, and without us taking responsibility for the things that we do. Please, my beloved South Africans, a lot of things have been done, and we apologize on behalf of the whole of Africa.
Yeah, ne? Things are happening in South Africa. Things are happening in Africa. Sometimes you feel like forgiving those who are asking for forgiveness, but you'll ask yourself, are they sincere? Are they apologizing sincerely? I'm asking this question because some of them, they apologize, but they continue doing what they have to do in South Africa. They are taking advantage, as this guy is saying, they are taking advantage of our weak government. So it becomes very difficult to understand if they are apologizing sincerely or they're just saying because they want us to allow them to continue to stay in our country. It's very difficult to understand our fellow Africans. Even if you say, okay, let's forgive each other and live in harmony in our respective countries, they don't want to go back home. If you say, okay, let's fix our countries. Let's fix our countries so that we'll live in harmony together, we'll visit each other. They don't want to do that. It becomes very difficult to understand if they are apologizing because they want us to continue to allow them to stay in our country, or this apology is from their hearts. Sometimes you don't even know. You don't know which is which. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and share the video. Love you guys. Bye.